Frances Widdowson, professor from Mount Royal University, who lost her job for just simply trying to have conversations about such stuff as residential schools and free speech and transgenderism. She goes to university campuses and she talks about issues that I think it's the faculty who are really the problem, because I've seen reports where we've sent out Rebel News journalists to cover her events on campus. And the kids, even the ones that disagree with her, are like, yeah, I completely disagree with her. The lady is wrong, but she has a right to have these ideas. It's the faculty who are canceling her and whipping up the crazy people. And I'll show you this clip of just some of the reaction, and then I'll show you the proof that it's the faculty that's behind all of this stuff. But we've discussed previously, Frances Widdowson is a lady of the left. Like, she is an economic leftist.
Spent her life in academia, right?
So
this is her world.
She's one of them.
When Frances Widdowson went off narrative and went off script and spoke her truth, well, then they came for her. And you have never, not in all of your livelong days, heard a woman as mad as Frances Widdowson is at these people. Okay, let's watch to see that.
She's got a list of enemies that she will list by name that is like the length of the Battle River Crowfoot ballot, like 7 feet long, single spaced, people who wronged her. And this woman is just going on spite alone. And I don't know if she smokes, but she looks like she smokes. And I mean that in the nicest way because she looks cool. But if I were her, I'd be living on spite and cigarettes. And she went to the University of Manitoba. And as she says here in this clip, orange shirt female cry bully pouring water on my sound system. Orange shirt female cry bully spitting on a bystander. That's assault. And deranged man punching Daniel Page, who is her videographer. So let's watch this. And where are the police? Where is Wab Kinew, the NDP premier of Manitoba? Where are you, Nahanni Fontaine? Anyways, let's watch this. This teeny tiny woman should be allowed to have ideas.
You were in trouble. There's a bunch of people who almost really got into serious violence.
Did you see what happened to me?
It was bad. It was really bad. And of course, Daniel got roughed up.
The security did nothing.
I know.
I got it all on footage.
Yeah, like I tried.
They walked past me too as they were doing it too.
Like we told them to stop for surrounding her.
So I was over here at I was with Dr. Widdowson here, and I'm just doing my usual thing. I just come with my camera, and then I got surrounded. First, I was inquired by some Indigenous ladies here, and then suddenly a couple of individuals who I saw yesterday at University of Manitoba surrounded me. Oh.
They just poured water.
Good job, jerk.
That's a well-known
Right on
tactic.
camera.
That's a well-known tactic of Antifa and the radical left.
So all on this, they're just standing around peacefully, water, spitting. The spitting just happened, and then
Yeah, you guys are a jerk.
Daniel, I think, gets punched right away.
Your opinion is based on nothing. Show me the fucking facts.
Trying to intimidate Frances. Look how small she is.
She is a tiny woman.
She's like 90 pounds.
Remains of 215 children being buried in the county south.
And where's that based off of?
Well, what is the
Show
evidence?
me the evidence. Show me the link.
So you're the one who needs to provide the evidence.
You're an entitled old hag, you know? Fuck all you guys. Get me off that fucking camera.
What happened to respecting your elders? I thought your culture did that.
Okay, Daniel, I want to.
Just pick that up and just stop the recording.
Okay.
And just stop it and we'll be okay.
All right.
Well,
That's that. So just in that clip, and that's after all the crazy stuff happened, which people can watch on the live stream. We talked about it on Monday, of just the like intense screaming at Frances, intimidating her, trying to get her.
Drums in her face, like
Yeah.
noise, deafening noise-making devices in her face. People screaming at her. I cannot state this clearly enough. She is a tiny little woman. Okay,
She looks
wee
frail.
tiny. She has gray sort of at the sides. The tinsel in her hair betrays her wisdom that she comes with, okay? And for these people to scream at her, I'm sorry, I thought that in First Nations culture, you revered your elders. I thought that that was the thing. Was I wrong when I got that? Because when I saw all of those petulant, belligerent, aggressive, violent young Indigenous people screaming at Frances Widdowson, it kind of doesn't align with what the culture says, does it?
Right. And they're just standing around peacefully. They're not bothering anybody. They're not even.
No.
Frances isn't even doing her thing where she invites people to have discussions. They're just recouping and sort of what do they call that? Debriefing after the chaos they just lived through.
Right.
And this lady comes over, pours water on their sound system. Somebody else gets spit on, and then somebody gets punched.
That sounds like a regular left-wing activist protest to me. Like that happens at almost every left-wing protest where they will show up. They're going to instigate. They're going to they call it good trouble. They call it good trouble on the left, right? Like, let's go cause some good trouble. While damaging equipment, being physically violent, and enraging their more lunatic fringe side of the left. But Frances Widdowson, like what she has this great strategy for talking on university campuses in Canada. She has these little floor mats, right?
Yep.
She has these little floor mats. And she stands in the middle, and there's a question that is posed to whoever is in attendance. And you can either agree and go stand on the agree floor mat, or disagree and stand on the disagree floor mat. And she's going to engage with you either way. But they won't even let her have the conversation. Right. And so I just gotta talk about witnessing Frances Widdowson receiving the George Jonas Freedom Award at the Justice Center for Constitutional Freedom Awards Gala last week that we went to in Calgary. Okay.
And she said she was going to Winnipeg, and we're like, oh.
I was like, we gotta go to Winnipeg. We just couldn't make it work, but we
do it.
wanted to be there.
I was in ostrich universe when I should have been at home.
And it was just such a tight turnaround, but we desperately wanted to be in Winnipeg with Frances Widdowson. So basically, I just want everyone to know, I am an awards ceremony expert. Okay, there is no awards ceremony or beauty pageant or dog show that I won't watch. I love them. And I have seen literally thousands of acceptance speeches in my day. Frances Widdowson's acceptance speech of the George Jonas Freedom Award for 2025 was unlike any acceptance speech we've ever heard.
Like nothing I've ever seen.
It was remarkable. Like, it was truly remarkable. It left me like shivering in my seat. Not only, like, on one hand, Frances Widdowson was very, very gracious and humble and humbled by the support that she received from the people in that room. Amongst them, 10 other professors from Mount Royal University who were there to support her. But on the other side of that, Frances Widdowson came with a list like Arya from Game of Thrones about the people that she is going to seek vengeance upon. Okay,
she exists out of just vengeance.
It was incredible. Listen, I gotta tell you something. If you come for Frances Widdowson, you best not miss.
Get on the list. You're going to be on the list.
She is coming with fire. But it wasn't an effusive or celebratory awards acceptance speech. Frances Widdowson sounded more like a witch on trial. Okay, this is a woman
yes.
who is trying to defend herself against the crazed pitchfork small town
Right.
who are coming for her. And not only does she see your pitchforks, okay, not only does she see them, but she's staking her claim in the ground. Okay, she is putting up her own witch's
Right.
stake. And she is daring you to light the match. But the crazy thing about Frances Widdowson and women like Frances Widdowson is that they would rather watch it all burn, okay, than put up with one more minute of this insanity. And so Frances Widdowson is a brand new personal hero of mine and of Sheila Gunn Reid's, and we are here for her all day, every day.
I do a lot of things in my day just for spite. I really do. And so I have a great admiration for a woman who shares a love of spite like I do. But yeah, that witch trial analysis is perfect. Frances Widdowson is tired of being strapped to the chair and dunked in the river to see if she floats. Like, she's over it. And
she has been, like, when you hear her story, when you hear Frances Widdowson's stories, and some very, very powerful people heard Frances Widdowson's story at that event. Okay, very powerful, very well placed.
I'm glad you mentioned that.
Powerful people. When she talks about what happened to her, the story just gets worse and worse. You cannot believe that every single element of the public institution that was meant to keep, guardrails on, safeguards to make sure that this didn't happen, failed her. And I love Sheila Gunn Reid, where she pointed out that Carla Marks was the person that screamed at Jennifer Johnson that she must affirm that trans women are women. No, 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 no. Yep. You will not do that to me. Carla Marks was at the center of getting Frances Widdowson fired from Mount Royal University. And so to hear this and to hear her string it all together in this really alarming story, I mean, it was incredible. I just can't say enough about Frances Widdowson. I want to be her when I grow up. You know what? I'm in training. I'm Frances in training.
And we'll get to the proof that we have that this came from the faculty at the University of Manitoba. But I should tell you, remember at that gala where we noticed that there was a senior chief of staff for a member of the Alberta government there?
Yeah.
Remember? I just don't want to give it away. Maybe they don't want to hear or whatever.
No, we'll just leave it. Yeah.
We'll just leave it. But you were there, senior chief of staff, to listen and to see what you could do. And things happened. So just this week, Alberta's advanced education minister got a new mandate letter. And it was to assess the need for new protections for free speech and academic freedom on campus.
You don't say. You don't say. I'm delighted to hear this, and I continue to be blown away by the responsiveness of the government of Alberta. As soon as they don't let moss grow on their rolling stones, Sheila Gunn Reid. Okay, the government of Alberta acknowledges that there is an issue and they set out to fix it immediately, which is something the government of Saskatchewan should think about doing now and again.
Once in a while. Let's now.
Incredible. I'm so delighted to hear that.
Our proof that the attacks against Frances Widdowson at the University of Manitoba were fomented within the faculty. Her peers in the faculty. This is from a leaked email from University of Winnipeg. Sorry, I've been saying University of Manitoba, but I guess it's Winnipeg's history department. Branded Frances Widdowson a denialist and mobilized students against her. Now she's been physically and verbally assaulted. So this is the email. The history department recently developed the following statement to be shared with all current history students. So they sent this to the history students to send them after Frances. I hope you all take good care of yourselves and please be aware of the support services available to students. Nothing happened to the students. You may contact the Aboriginal Student Services Center, blah, 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 blah. Statement by the Department of History or Department of Rewriting History, the University of Winnipeg on potential UW visit by Frances Widdowson. She's announced plans to stage an event platforming Indian residential school denialism at U Winnipeg. She was fired in part due to public statements criticizing the Black Lives Matter movement and lauding the benefits of Indian residential schools. Widdowson also planned events at U Manitoba this week, specifically targeting the National Center for Truth and Reconciliation and Indian residential school denialism scholars Nigel Sinclair and Sean Carlton. Widdowson is known for creating public confrontation. That's actually the opposite of what she does. Filming it and sharing it publicly to draw attention to herself. Sinclair addressed her visit in his Winnipeg Free Press column on Monday, where he shares some strategies for engagement or non-engagement specifically. Well, that is actually what you should do. If you don't like Frances, keep walking.
Right.
But that's not what this faculty intended for her. Indian residential school denialism is mythology rooted in hate and racism and has zero factual basis. Denialists cherry pick evidence to support their arguments and ignore the massive body of academic scholarship, archival documents. It's one group is ignoring archival documents, right. And survival testimonies that clearly disprove their theories. More on Indian residential school, blah, blah, blah. The history department condemns denialism and platforming of this rhetoric on campus. Anyways, it goes on to say that...
They also acknowledge the harm that this causes the students and, the ways that students... Yeah.
The history department encourages all Winnipeg students, staff, and faculty members... Okay, so this is for today. But they basically said, you've got a deranged denialist coming to the campus. What are you people going to do about it?
Right. And then activating their their vapid left-wing student activists to act against Frances Widdowson. And that is why she was assaulted and her equipment was ruined and somebody got punched in the face.
Right. Now, I got to mute that. Last on our list, because I think we've been going like 45 minutes and my poor editors have to edit this. And it feels like they would just be subject to a phone conversation with us, which is sort of what this turned into. We've got Tara Armstrong. She's the 1BC House leader and the MLA for Kelowna Lake Country Coldstream. So British Columbia, we already know what 1BC thinks about using the phrase residential school denialism to shut up people who just want to know what happened to $3 billion. She, I think, is doing the right thing here by wondering why Manitoba is not doing what Alberta is doing, and that is ensuring academic freedom on campus. So let's listen to this. Tara Armstrong.
I am calling on Manitoba Premier Wab Kinew and the Government of Manitoba to issue an official apology to Professor Frances Widdowson for the abuse she suffered at the University of Winnipeg from students and activists.
On these grounds. This is Treaty 1 territory. This land belongs to our First Nation people, not you white people. You are a visitor. You are a visitor on our land.
Because I'm here to do my event.
Does it look like where? Where are you having an event?
Frances is a courageous speaker who wanted to hold an event to have discussions with people who both agreed and disagreed with her. I am speaking out on this issue, even though I am an MLA from British Columbia, because I fear nobody in elected office in Manitoba, provincially or federally, will speak out. Universities are supposed to be places of open discourse and respect for other points of view. Governments all over Canada need to enforce the law on these campuses and prevent assault and criminal harassment from taking place against speakers that activists simply disagree with.
Exactly. I don't even know why that it has to be said, but it should have been said by Wab Kinew.
Yeah, it should have. But Wab Kinew, I mean, he has, what's her name? Nahani Fontaine. He's got a whole litany of crazy left-wing activists in his crazy left-wing activist party, the NDP. They are absolutely stuffed with left-wing activists. And of course he's not going to say anything in defense of Frances Widdowson, because Wab Kinew, what those petulant, spoiled children were doing when they were screaming in the face of their elder, Frances Widdowson, was actually lying to them. It is not Indigenous land. Treaties were an agreement between the Indigenous people to permanently cede their claim of the land to the government of Canada. Okay, they were paid for the land. Some would say they have been paid far too long and far too much for the land, all things considered. But of course, Wab Kinew is not going to respond. He loves this. This is what he wants for Manitoba.